like other vegetable carvings and fruit carvings and things like that, demonstrate the skill of the chef and open up an opportunity for the guests to have that ooh and the ah and the wow factor and such. I just want to show you a quick one. This is kind of easy. It should take no more than like 10 minutes or so. Again, we're going to have another demonstration later on today at 1 p.m. and that's going to be on yeast raised doughs, right? So, all right. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the first cut. Everybody can see it's just I'm just going to cut the bottom off a little bit so it sits flat. Okay, and you can see how I've done it already here. Anyway, so then what I want to do is we want to do a series of V's. All right, a series of V's. So I'm just going to cut, and you want to do it kind of thin. The thinner you do it, the more realistic it's going to look. So I go ahead and I cut one. You want to line these up so that they are in order as well. You want to use a very sharp paring knife, and you just want to take your time. Maybe you can have some lemon juice or lime juice nearby so that you can coat the outside of the apple so it doesn't oxidize. Or just do it as close to service as possible. So you could use any kind of apple, a Granny Smith apple, you could use a Red Delicious apple. I'm using a Macintosh apple right here. So that was a good question. Question was, what type of apple should we be using? So go ahead and put the questions into the chat, and I will I'll get to them at the end. So this way we can just move right along with the demonstration, and then we'll make sure that we get all the questions answered toward the end there. So thank you. So we have I'm going to do 5 for the first one. This one again, it just it broke in half there, which is fine. Just hold on to it, right? And then okay, so now I'm going to do the other side. And again, I got one in the middle, and I'm doing the series of V's, and I want to line them up. All right, I want to line up the cuts just like that, right? So there's 2. I've done 5 for the top one there. 5. So here's 2. Here's 3. And again, I'm just doing a series of maybe 16th-inch cuts that are creating a series of V's on top of one another. All right, so there's 3. And I'll do one more for the final cut here for this side. So I'm doing on all 3 sides. So I did one on the top, one on the right, and then I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to do one on the left as well. All right, you can kind of angle them a little bit so that they look more realistic. And again, what we're doing here is we're demonstrating the skill of the chef, and we're giving that ooh and the ah and the wow factor. This way you can charge more for your buffets, for your catering events, because you get that wow, I can't believe how beautiful that fruit display was, and it had a bunch of melon flowers and apple birds and things like that. It was super exciting, right? Everybody's talking about your event after the event happens, right? So I've gotten now I've got 4. Right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and put everything back together again the way it came off. So again, if it broke, you just kind of put it back together again, and you just sit it right back on there. And you want to slide them out a little bit so that they look kind of like wings of a bird, right? And then so there's 3, and then there's 4. Again, what happens now? You have the pectin of the fruit, the natural pectin, is what's going to help hold those slices together again, right? So you don't need to use anything on there. You just kind of just let them, just sit them on there, and it will hold together just like that. So okay, and so we've gotten the 2 sides. You can see it there, right? And so we got 2 sides there, and then I'm going to do the one right in the middle on top. So I got one in the middle going outward. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the middle one is a little bit longer, so I went ahead and did 5 cuts on the little one. Now you want to make sure you go as thin as possible. The thinner you go, the more realistic it's going to look on the slices, right? So if you're doing real thick slices, it's not going to look very realistic. Let me set this one down over here so we can see. All right, and then so I have the apple bird now, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that first cut I made, and I'm going to go ahead and cut about a 1/16 of an inch slice. All right, and that's going to be, and then I'm going to hold my knife just like a pencil like this, okay, and I'm going to I'm just going to draw a head on here. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a beak, and then do kind of like a chest that's kind of puffed out a little bit. And then I'm going to make the head, and then come around. You can practice that on. You can practice making the heads on a piece of paper first if you want, right? And then what you want to do is go ahead and make it cut it into like a narrow V on the bottom here, and that will enable you to set it right on top of the bird, just like that. I want to give it a little push down so it stays. And then you can actually take, if you're really careful, you can actually take maybe a piece of, here I have some rock salt. You could use a black pepper if you want or whatever. And what I like to do is just get a little bit of this. This is Himalayan black sea salt, right? So it's kind of cool, right? And then I'm just going to use that as the eyeball, right? So I go ahead and just set it right in there. Just press it. And it gives you an eyeball right in there. Right, so you can see the eyeball. Right. So then we have our apple bird. All right. So let me see if we have any questions in the chat window here. Okay. So